Today, I'd like to introduce one of RHI Magnesita's life-saving rules. I protect myself. But first, I'd like to share a personal story, something that once happened to me that highlights the importance of wearing the correct PPE. When I was a kid, I hated it to wear a helmet for going on a bike ride. My parents insisted on wearing it, but I used to argue, "Come on, it's just a short way." And my mother used to say, but the concrete is equally hard everywhere. Well, that was not what convinced me to wear a helmet, but it was Helmi who did. Helmi is the safety mascot of a 90s TV show. And Helmi made an experiment once. He took a melon, put it in a helmet, and then dropped the helmet. Well, the melon stayed safe. And then he tried it without the helmet. He just dropped the melon on the floor and it bursted in pieces. I cannot forget this picture, and since then I was wearing the helmet whenever I was riding a bike. I mean, to ride a bike is not a common activity at our production sites. But there are other risks that we can mitigate by wearing personal protective equipment, such as falling objects or falling. So this is why that brings me to the life-saving rule, I protect myself. I protect myself means that I use the required personal protective equipment or PPE whenever the location or task requires it. At RHI Magnesita, the minimum PPE standard for operations and customer sites includes a helmet with a chin strap, safety glasses, gloves, and mid to high-cut safety shoes with metatarsal protections, as we can see it here. PPE may be removed only in clear marked low-risk areas, such as offices. So I can take it off here. The material and the type of the PPE and workwear depends on the specific environment and on the activity. In high-risk area, additional PPE such as earplugs, masks or a harness may be required. And all visitors must wear a high-visibility vest or other high-visibility clothing while on site. By wearing the correct PPE, you are providing a critical layer of protection against unexpected hazards, reducing the risk of serious injury and acting as a role model for your colleagues. And by the way, many years after Helmi convinced me that wearing a helmet makes sense, I showed this experiment to my first kid, and since then I can tell you it worked. He was wearing a helmet. And I will also show this video in some years to my second kid whenever he or she is old enough to learn to ride a bike.